Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to react to an ESPN article that Bill Barnwell put out. He predicted the Giants will sign Dalton Risner and that they could make a trade for Jerry Jeudy. It was on ESPN Plus. This is what the headline of the article looked like. We're going to break that down in today's show. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because if the Giants go out and sign Dalton Risner or they go out and make a trade for Jerry Jeudy, we are going to put out a video as soon as possible. When the Giants make a move, we make a video. So lock us in so you never miss a thing when it comes to Big Blue. Let's go straight to what Bill Barnwell had to say about Dalton Risner. He went on to write that although the New York Giants don't have a ton of cap space, they should have enough room to get creative with voidable years if they want to sign a player to a one-year deal. And Risner should be that player. A one-year deal with the Giants in the $5 million range would make sense for both parties. Brian Daboll's team would get a veteran protecting Jones and security if second-year player Joshua Ezeudu struggles to return from a neck injury, while Risner would play in a well-regarded offense and earn a shot at a long-term deal after 2023, either with the Giants or somewhere else. And I think Bill Barnwell brings up a couple of good points. And I wouldn't mind signing Dalton Risner. I mean, anytime you can get a guy that started, 62 games in his career, I don't have a problem with that, sliding him in at the left guard spot. But I do want to see a little bit more from Joshua Ezeudu. He was picked number 67 in the 2022 NFL Draft. And when you pick somebody inside the top 70, you're expecting them to be a starter for your ball club. Maybe it doesn't happen in year 2 this year. Maybe it happens down the road. I know he's coming off a neck injury that happened in November of this past season. But I would like to see Ezeudu at least get a little bit of a shot to be that starting left guard. But if Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach for the Giants, and Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll deem that they need a veteran presence at left guard, I think Dalton Risner is definitely the best available. We'll go through some Dalton Risner stats in a second, and we'll look at that Jerry Jeudy idea from Bill Barnwell coming up. But first, we got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com and use the promo code chat. They're going to hook you guys up with a free Yeti-like tumbler. Look, you get free stuff and you get awesome gear. Shout out to Bird Dogs. I love Bird Dogs shorts and pants for 3 reasons. They meet what I want. I want swag, I want versatility, and I want comfort. And that's what Bird Dogs has mastered in their designs with their shorts and pants. Get hooked up with them, birddogs.com. Remember, the promo code is chat. As someone who loves looking good and feeling confident, I'm excited to share my personal experience with our new sponsor, Bird Dogs. These shorts and pants have truly changed the game for me. The fit is unparalleled, and I've never felt better in any clothing item. Not only do they make me look great, but they're so comfortable that I can wear them all day long without feeling restricted. Plus, the stretchy fabric makes for a really good fit, something that I really appreciate. But what sets them apart is their versatility. I wear them to the office, on dates, the gym, golf course, going out with friends, going to dinner. And every time I feel like I'm dressed for the occasion, it is such a relief to not have to worry about changing my outfit midday. Get hooked up with Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com and use the promo code chat. I promise you will not regret it. The swag, the fit, the comfortability, and all the different styles that they have. You could choose the different length of the shorts, and they also have pants if you're looking for that. Get hooked up with them. That link is clickable in the comments and description of today's show. So let's focus back in on Dalton Risner. When you look at what he's done in his 4-year career after being a second-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, here are his Pro Football Focus grades. I wouldn't overreact to these at all, to be honest with you. Anytime you're right at the 70-plus mark in Pro Football Focus, that is deemed, in my opinion, as good, especially on the offensive line. His best year was probably in 2021 when he graded out at 68.5 as an overall grade, 63 in a run block, and 73.6 in the pass blocking game. He's definitely a better pass protector than run protector, but he has allowed just 10 sacks in his career, 62 starts, and he's missed just 4 games in his career due to injury. So he is smart, he is tough, and he is dependable. The thing is, where does he fit on this Giants offensive line depth chart? If you do sign Dalton Risner, it would be to be the starting left guard. But like we talked about, I want to see a little bit more from Joshua Ezeudu. I mean, it's the first time the Giants have really invested in their offensive line. Left tackle, Andrew Thomas, top 5 pick. Joshua Ezeudu, he was picked number 67 overall. Your center, John Michael Schmitz, was selected in the 2nd round. Your right tackle, and Evan Neal, was selected at number 7 in the 2022 NFL Draft. And you gave Mark Lewinsky a good bit of change in free agency last offseason. So I want to see what this offensive line and the, I guess you could say, deposits the Giants have made across this offensive line. I want to see that come to fruition. And even when Ezeudu played last year, he was solid for the New York Giants. I mean, when you look at the games that he started to close the NFL seasons in Week 7, Week 8, and Week 10, where he played over 60 snaps in each ball game, he only gave up 1 sack in those 3 games. He gave up only 2 QB hits. He never graded up above a 65 overall, but his grades, according to PFF, are similar to what Dalton Risner has given you in his NFL career. So for that reason, I don't really see the need to sign Dalton Risner when you could ride with either Joshua Ezeudu or Ben Bredeson. So before we get talking about Jerry Jeudy, I want you guys to sound off in the comments section. If you had to pick a left guard to start on this football team between one of these 3 guys, who would it be? Type DR for Dalton Risner, JE for Joshua Ezeudu, or BB for Ben Bredeson. I'm rocking with Ezeudu. Top 70 pick. You got to start playing, my man. Let's talk now about a pass catcher that Bill Barnwell also talked about in this article. He pretty much said that the Denver Broncos are expected to trade one of their wide receivers, and he believes the Giants, who had interest in the NFL trade deadline with Jerry Jeudy, could be a team that swings around and maybe makes a trade for the former first-round pick. This is what Barnwell had to say in that article. He said for the Broncos, it might make sense to wait until training camp and see whether a team loses a star wide receiver to a season-ending injury before they trade one of their wide receivers. He said Jeudy would make sense for a team like the Giants, but Brian Daboll might need to evaluate their bevy of options in camp before making a more significant move for a potential number 1 wideout. And my first reaction was this: I don't understand. Why would the Giants want to go out and trade for Jerry Jeudy, who is a good football player, but I have never seen anything in his career that tells me that Jerry Jeudy is a bona fide wide receiver 1. Because he's not. Is he a good number 2? Yes. Is he a great number 3? Absolutely. Jerry Jeudy is not a number 1 wide receiver, and the Giants don't need to sacrifice any more cap space or draft capital to go out and trade for another wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, because they already loaded at the wide receiver position in terms of numbers and names. You got Hodgins, you got Shepard, you got Robinson, you got Slayton, you got Paris Campbell, you got Jalen Hyatt, you got Jamison Crowder, you got Colin Johnson, you got the people's champ Bryce Ford Wheaton, who everyone thinks is going to be a Hall of Famer one day. I like Jerry Jeudy, but he is not a number 1 wide receiver, and I think that has been proven throughout his young NFL career. Only been in the league 3 years, but when we show you the stats in a second, I think it's obvious. Jerry Jeudy is not a first option on an offense at the pass catcher position. Does he make sense for the Giants? I think he does, because I do think they could use a little bit of a talent upgrade at the wide receiver spot. But even though he's not a receiver, Darren Waller is going to be the number 1 target on this team. But Jeudy, I think the stats show you that he's not a first option and not a guy that you should sacrifice more draft capital and more salary cap dollars, because his 5th-year option was just picked up. He's about to enter year 4 in the league, which means in 2 off seasons, you're probably going to have to give him a good amount of money. And he's not a guy that I want to pay all that much, because he has just 9 touchdowns in his young NFL career, not even over 2,300 yards, and not even 200 grabs in 3 seasons, never over 70 catches, never 1,000 yards, and never more than 6 touchdowns. Great player. I think he'd fit what the Giants want to do on offense, but he's not a guy that I'm mortgaging the future to go out and get, especially when you look at what Benjamin Albright reported as to what Jerry Jeudy is going to net for the Denver Broncos. He said sources confirm multiple teams have called inquiring about wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. The price tag remains high. Teams asking for the Broncos are asking for a first-round pick or a high second-round pick plus a player. New England, Cleveland, and Dallas, who was interested at the trade deadline last year, among other teams inquiring. The Giants were also reportedly interested at the trade deadline. But I'm not interested in trading for Jerry Jeudy, to say it another time. I'm not. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the Giants now. I don't think the Giants make it makes sense for the Giants long term. I had interest in trading for Jerry Jeudy at the NFL trade deadline. We did videos about that. And the Giants also were confirmed to be in contact with the Denver Broncos at that point in time. But I'm not giving up a first-round pick, and I'm not giving up a second-round pick plus a player that is deemed as valuable. I'm just not doing it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you want to trade for Jerry Jeudy, but would you do it for a first-round pick? We're going to close today's show asking the audience this question. So weigh in for me down below. Would you trade a first-round pick for Jerry Jeudy? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Sound off for me down below. And also, I just want to say thank you, as always, for everybody that tuned into today's show. There's a million things you could have been doing today. And the fact that you spent 10, 11, 12 minutes with us here on Giants Now by Chat Sports, just want to say thank you. We appreciate it. The support does not go unnoticed. So thank you. If you made this far in the video, be a real one. Hit that thumbs up icon.